Hi ladies, hi gents. So I left you in my last video where we did the ironing. I literally have just done it in our time. So the next step is the step where we draw our pattern. Now I might have to do this in a couple of sections because we've got the arms, the legs and the body. There is a way of cheating the system a little bit, so it might be a bit quicker for us. So the first one we're going to do is the legs. So make sure you've got all 4 pieces of your legs, which I have done, and you will need the pattern. That's all you will need. The other bit that you will need is some pins. You will also need, I'll show you what you need now. So I keep my little things in here, and you made this for me, which I absolutely love, and I always use it when I don't untangle the... No, oh, there it is. Right, you will need a chalk of some kind or a pencil. You will also need a sewing gauge, or you can use a ruler. Those are the only things you may need, and you will need your pins. So I'm going to get everything ready and out. I should have got it out sooner, but I never. We're going to use, I think we'll use, just for fun, we'll use some of these pins. Some of these sewing pins instead of the long ones. Right. Okay. So, take 2 pieces of your legs. Put your pattern to one side a second. Now, the fabric that you want to see, again, face it towards the table. Okay? The fabric that you want to see on the outside, face towards the up. Okay? So you've got A and B. No, you've got A. No, wait a sec. Yeah, you've got that way. I had to think. Right, okay. You need to line these 2 bits up. Now, if we draw on this side with our fabric pen, it's going to get seen. So this is why I just had to think then. So we need to do the opposite side. Let me explain. If I did it like that, and then I drew my pattern, and then I sewed, you were going to see the stitches. So to avoid that, you want to do it inside out, because don't forget we need to put these legs and the arms inside out. So to avoid that, we need the fabric that we want to see on the doll facing up, the fabric that we want facing the doll facing down. So you've got the 2 sides of the fabric facing each other. Okay, now this is where it comes a little bit tricky, so I'm going to lower you down. So the fabric that you want, the fabric when you see the doll, that fabric that you want to be able to see, you want the one part facing up and the other part facing towards the table, so they sort of sitting against each other. Now you see where we hemmed, well, I didn't hem it, but you see where we sewed it. We made a big line, didn't we? And we sewed the 2 pieces, and then we went over with our scissors and we made sure that these pieces were flat. Now your little goal is to measure up to make sure that this piece lines up with this piece, so both corners match. See? You don't want anything like this. Right, and I'll explain to you why we're doing that in a sec. So make sure they're just lined up as best as you can get them. So that one's lined up that side. And that should be lined up that side. Right, the reason we're lining it up is because these bits are the boots. If we didn't line it up, when we go to sew it together, the boots will be out of sync. She'll have one boot higher and one boot short, one half the boot short, and it'll look odd. So to avoid that, make sure that these are sort of together. Now, I am going to put a small pin just there like so while I check on this side. Right, and that's lined up properly. There. Right, okay. So we have something that looks like that. Okay. Now, again, do the same with these pieces. So the fabric that you want, when you look at the doll, face up, and then the other side, the other piece, face down towards the table. Let me get my pins ready. I'm using these cute little sewing pins I had off eBay. And then you want to line each segment up to where we sewed on the machine, like that. I'm going to put a pin in so like that to keep from that moving. And while I got the pin in, I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm going to line it up. Okay, as long as those lines are lined up, don't worry about everything else being straight or everything else being in sync, because it may not work out that way. Like, see, it's not in line, so don't worry about it. Now we've done that. We are going now to take one piece. We're going to take one leg. So we've lined up the other leg ready. So with the leg that we're going to want to work on, raise you up a second, take your pattern. Now we decided our boot was going to stop there. That's where our boot was going to stop. So you line your boot up with that seam line. So where that line is going across. Now you can make your boot shorter or longer if you want, but our boot is going to line up with that line. So make sure it's lined up with that seam line there. The minute you've got it lined up on both sides, I would say that's lined up. Take a pin, any pin will do. Okay. Now we can undo these because we've put our pattern on that line. See? And then all you need to work out then is the rest of it. So start with that line and start putting your pins in. So I'm going to put a pin in there because these pins are really short, because I wanted to use them, and they're going to take a lot more pins than longer ones would. Okay, so you should have something that looks like so, but make sure that line is sitting on that seam line, because the moment that moves you won't be able to correct it later. Okay, now this section is where you'll need your chalk, and you can either use a chalk, or what I used last time was a pencil, because you're not going to see it once you've stitched it. So, and like the chalk, see, if I just do, it's a little bit too thick, whereas a pencil is a little bit, I don't know, I found a pencil easier. You can use anything, you're not going to see it. And this is where you just trace the pattern. And for those that are wondering where I got the pattern from, it's from Tilda Summer Ideas. That's where I got the pattern from. Over the lip. So while I'm doing this, I can still talk to you. around every curve that you want. Go over these two little stitches that we've stitched. I wanted to do it with a pencil last time. You didn't see it. Well, you're not going to see it this time. I mean, it's only just to see the pattern, isn't it, at the end of the day? Okay. When you get to the top, now I think I've gone up to about here. Okay, when you get to the top, just make a, with the top it doesn't really necessarily matter, because that between there and there, that's where you're going to sew it to the body. So once you've done that, you can unpin all these pins. The only one you keep in is that one where the seam is. That's the only one you would keep in. Okay, so as you can see, I've got all my pattern. I'm going to put 2-3 pins in to make sure that they're all in place. Okay, so there's your first sort of line. Now again, when it comes to the legs, I'm going to do, like I said, we're going to do the legs, the bogs, the arms and the body in the two separate videos. So make sure that this line is lined up with that seam line. Put just a pin in it, and then you can take these out and then use them pins to make sure that you can pin the rest of it. So as you can see, we haven't really done that much with our pattern as of yet. So again, now I will start off with the curve and I go down from there. Go straight up. So I'm going to turn my pattern now. I've got to about here because like I said, with right at the very start, I had to cut my pattern out and sellotape it together. So but there I can't mark it because the sellotape is there. But you may have to do the same thing. Okay. Come on. Pencil needs sharpening. Okay, so the only pin you make sure that's in is this seam line here, because you don't want me losing that in your machine. So I'm going to flick that over I'm going to put that in. Take all your pins out because you don't need them in. And you see where I couldn't go any further with my pencil? Just dot them back up. Pin them up. So you'll be about, now if you notice that's gone right up to the seam line, it does not matter at all because we can, you know, that top bit is just to sew it into the body and we've got plenty of it to sew in. So that's your legs done. Now, shall we do the arms or shan't we? Should we do legs and arms and then body in the next section? I think we should. I think we should. Right, so we'll do the body in the next section. I keep saying that and then I change my mind. So the fabric that you want to see on the outside face up, the fabric that you want to see on the outside face down. Now the two patterns, make sure that they are together, that you haven't done it this way like I did on my other doll. I had to cut the pattern out all over again. I was so gutted because everything was going right up until that point. So bring those 2 points together like so. You see they're together? And I'm going to get my pin. Now the arms are a little bit tricky, but it's okay. I'm just going to stick a pin that side because I know that side's all done. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to put the pin then just section there. Okay, right, the arms. Now our arm line where our sleeve was, we decided that it was going to be there, so make sure that it is there. What did we say it was going to be there? Because that's where my pencil line is. I don't think so. I think we said there. Oh no, yeah, we did. So our line was there. See, we made a new line. So plug it up with that same line here and here. Put a pin in, secure it down. See how it's moved? That's no good. Because when it comes to sewing it, you need to make sure it's completely in sync. And I know I'm being precise. And I know you're probably thinking, why is she being that precise? But I promise you, it'll all come together. I'm going to pin it in, because these arms don't take 2 minutes to do. So pin that section in, and then this section. The arms take 3 pins to do. And then I'm going to draw around it. So start from here. So you know on the legs we had, I said don't worry about the top because we had that much to sew into the body. On the arms, that's our sewing in, that's our gap to sew into the body. So if your fabric is right on the edge, but you've got enough to go onto that center line, don't flabbergast because that is our gap. That's how much we've left ourselves to put in on the body. So I'm just gonna go around it. Over the gap. Here. Yeah, you can see it. I'm just going to check and you can see. Now I did buy a shop. Here you are. This is my Harry Potter pen. So bought from Tesco's the other day. Make sure you go in all the crevices because you will see it at the end of the day. You'll need to go in that gap and then follow the pattern around. Okay, then I'm going to take all the pins out. The only pin we keep in is that middle one. Oops. And then down like so. So that's the only pin we keep in. But because I want these fabrics to be kept together, and I'm not jumping ahead, I want to make sure I'm doing it with you all, guys. I'm going to put 3 pins in these arms, and then I'm going to do the next arm. Now, like I said, the body we'll do on a separate video. We will do that on a separate video because it'll take a little bit longer to do. So make sure you've got your 2 pieces lined up. Yeah, they're lined up that side. And I'm going to take a pin. And I'm just going to put it in there. And I'm going to line my... See? Now, if I unchecked, what I've done is, instead of... I've gone rushing ahead. Can you notice what I've done wrong? Have a think about it now. If I turn that inside out, I am going to get what? I'm going to get one pattern side and one side inside out because I wasn't concentrating on the way the fabrics this should be. So one fabric should be facing up and the other fabric should be facing down. That way you've got the inside of the fabric facing you. So I'm so glad I noticed that, because if I had unnoticed that, I would have been sewing away. I had to cut it out again. Right. Pin that side, make sure this side lined up. We're going to pin this side and then we're going to go round our pattern one more time. Okay, so you have something that looks like that. Now again, where are we? Because I know the pattern bit is at the top. Yeah, that's lined up nicely, I think. There. I'm just going to get some more of these button pins out because we'll only need a couple. One there. Take these out. Now, the reason I took that out is because it was gathering up the fabric, the towel underneath. Right. So our next step now is to draw around it. See how we didn't start from this edge. If it helps to move your fabric where you need it and want it. Move it round with you. So if it helps to move it, move it. If it doesn't and you want to keep it in one place, it's pinned, so it's not going anywhere. So if you think, oh, I'm having trouble lining that up, or I'm having trouble drawing this out, then draw it out, but move it along with you. No one has to say there has to be in one place. So like I said, I will do the body in a separate video on Friday with you all. I will do it, I promise you. I will come on Friday and I will do that with you. But I'll show you what you'll have now once I finish this. Okay, so unpick that one, pick this one. Just going to move the pattern out of the way, take the pin back through the middle, make sure that stays in place, and just 3 pins that we'll need. So what we've essentially got, we have got 2, and this is where I'm going to stop today. We have got 2 you'll have 2 sets of arms that you've drawn out, okay, and if you've got all this fabric, don't worry, we're going to see to that in a second. We didn't even use our sewing gauge because we haven't got to that part yet. You've got 2 sections of your legs as well. Now if you are following along with me, let me know. I'd love to know if you are actually following along with me, or if you are going to try this out using my step-to-step guide, because like I said, I wanted to do it my way. I didn't read the book. I haven't read the book. I don't know what way they do it in the book, but this is the way I did mine, and this is the way mine turned out. So like I say, I used, you saw me use a pencil. Pencil works just as well as a fabric thing. You don't see through it at all, because you're going to stitch on those pencil marks, so you're not going to see it anyway. So I hope you enjoyed these 2 videos that I've gone up today with the Tilda doll. Please let me know what you think. I'd love to read your comments, and I'd love to hear from you. And I will speak to you all very soon. Take care. Have a lovely day. And like I say, please join me on Friday and Friday's live at 9 o'clock. I will be doing a live on my channel, and then I will be going over to Laurel at about 12:30, 1 o'clock our time, UK time. And I'll be doing a live with her and Clara, and I don't know what else is joining us, but yeah, that's on Friday. And I'll be using the stuff I had from Deeza's shop as well. So I'll speak to you all then. Take care, have a lovely day, and I'll speak to you all then. God bless. Bye for now.